Allar, Drew Allar, third-round pick out of Penn State. A lot of people did not like the pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers just because he did not have the best 2025 season before the season-ending injury. But in 2024, he was pretty decent, led them to the college football playoff, won a game in the college football playoff. So I don't think Drew Allar is going to be that bad in the NFL. But Grant, would you be concerned that they are changing literally everything he knows about playing quarterback?
Here's the thing, because they are doing it means that there's obviously a huge element of risk, but at the same time, they had to do it because Drew Allar had all of the physical tools coming out of Penn State. Everybody knew that, but everybody also knew that he was going to have to really develop his game. And if they have identified that his mechanics are off and whatever his throwing motion's got to change, his footwork is this and that, well, this is part of fulfilling that potential. We have to remind ourselves, when players are drafted off of potential, that means that they're not the finished product at this moment. So someone like Shamar Stewart, who obviously, that's a whole other can of worms. I don't think he should have been a first-round pick, but he was. And if you were expecting him to come into the NFL and dominate, that wasn't going to happen. He's a freak athlete who never had more than 1.5 sacks in a season. So you got to help him develop into that. In the case of Drew Allar, he looks like Josh Allen. He doesn't throw the football like Josh Allen. And also remember, Josh Allen, when he was a rookie, did not throw the football like current Josh Allen does. So there's going to have to be a huge overhaul. I don't hate the not buy low, but like buy mid, buy day 2 pick and try to sell high. But there's going to be growing pains. It's going to take time. It's going to be a couple of years before he's ready to even give it a real attempt. And when he first gets out on the field, he's probably not going to look amazing. Like it might be like a Jordan Love situation where you see the arm strength, but he's got to refine some of the edges. So it's I can understand some initial skepticism by Steelers fans out there. And yes, he was getting jokes cracked on him because of the videos that went viral. But I think this is probably exactly what should be happening.
I think he's going to be a dog in the NFL because he's got all the physical attributes. He was the third-ranked prospect, I think, in the class of 2022 when he committed to Penn State. So he's got all the tools to be great if the Steelers can just fine-tune him a little bit. And the good thing for him, he gets to sit behind probably Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't play for the Steelers this year, which we know in the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers will ultimately be on the Steelers. He's just slow playing it and, doing what he does. But I think he's going to be really good, Will Howard, in the future. And also, not Will Howard, Drew Allar. With Will Howard, too, you have like kind of 2 mid-tier guys. I mean, I think Howard was a 5th-round pick, if I'm not wrong, 6th-round pick.
Yes, 5th-round pick.
So you're not tied to Drew Allar by any means. Obviously, you want to play the 3rd-round pick if you can, but if Will Howard shows up more, you can play Will Howard, let Drew Allar continue to learn, and then give the keys to the kingdom over to him as well. So they have, kind of 2 mid-tier quarterbacks that they can move towards for the future. Also have Mason Rudolph still on the roster. So they're not going to keep 4 guys. One of those guys is going to get cut. I imagine it's going to be Howard or Rudolph.
Yeah, I think you're probably right in that because you don't draft Drew Allar in the 3rd round just to cut him. So I would assume it would be Rudolph. I mean, you also drafted Howard, so you figure you keep him around. Either way, neither one of those guys really lined up to be the starter. And while Drew Allar is definitely the conversation here, and Steelers fans watching this, I understand the clips didn't make him look very good. The clip where he's coming out moving in slow motion, it's a drill. What are your thoughts on this whole matter? Whatever you got, let us know in the comment section below. Also, while you're down there, hit the like button. Takes 2 seconds out of your day. Means nothing to you, but everything to us. That's how you help the channel, so definitely do that. But let's transition from Drew Allar, and let's talk about the Aaron Rodgers piece of it, because you're right. If Drew Allar gets to sit for a year, maybe 2 years, although I don't think Aaron has that in him, that's the best case scenario. You don't want him on the field right now. Even if Aaron Rodgers isn't like the best leader, at the very least, you can see how he practices. You can sit in a meeting room with him and learn from him. Aaron Rodgers has basically been assumed he's going to be back with the Steelers. There were reports last week that he was going to be back, but then he doesn't show up to a meeting with the team over the weekend. And now the Steelers are just playing this waiting game where they're completely at his mercy and they don't have someone ready to go because Drew Allar is that work in progress. Will Howard probably not ready to step on the field, which means Mason Rudolph is in line to be the day 1 starter. And I literally just finished saying, if Rodgers is back, I think Mason Rudolph is the one who gets cut. So they're totally at Aaron Rodgers' mercy right now, and he's not going to make it easy for him because he never does.
No. And you know what? If I was the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, I would just move on. Like you don't want to be here. You're not showing up. You're supposed to show up over the weekend. You're supposed to sign a contract. I would just move on. Like, you're not going to be good with Aaron Rodgers. You're not winning a Let's put it this way. You are not winning a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. If the ultimate goal of the NFL season every year is to win a Super Bowl and you're not going to do it with Aaron Rodgers, move on. Go to Will Howard, go to Mason Rudolph, struggle for a year, and then see where you're at next season. Because if you do tank and you want to get a quarterback next season, you draft in the top 10, you're going to get a good one. And if you ultimately, find something with a guy like Will Howard, or if you want to trust Drew Aller this year, go for it and see what happens, right? I don't think Drew Aller is supposed to be the starting quarterback. I don't think he should be the starting quarterback with how they're fully rebuilding him right now as a quarterback. But I would move on from Aaron Rodgers. If he's not showing up, why are we even thinking about him? Let's go. Let's just move on and, take our lumps and then prepare for the future.
I'm so mystified by some of the decisions that these teams make. And I love when people comment on videos or they tweet me or whatever, and they say, oh, do you think you could do an NFL GM's job better than they do? Probably not, but I do think there are some stupid GMs out there. I do think there are some poorly run teams. And the Steelers, and this doesn't just apply to them, but if you're caught in the cycle of mid, if you go into every season thinking we're going to be 7-10, 8-9 this year, Steelers might not even have that much talent. They already hired one of the most underwhelming coaches they could this offseason with Mike McCarthy. Like, look around the league, and Mike McCarthy, does that get you excited compared to the other guys? So you're really looking at them to be like in the 6-11. 8-9 feels like best case scenario for this football team. You're looking at them to be in that range. Aaron Rodgers at 42 years old, knowing that he's not a part of your future, what is the point? Like, kind of to what you were saying, I don't want it to be Drew Aller. I'm not a Steelers fan. I don't want it to be Drew Aller on the field, but put Mason Rudolph out there or put Will Howard out there. I think Will Howard is probably the best option. And if you stumble onto something, great. You've got the quarterback situation sorted. If you don't, you're going to get a really good draft pick in a really valuable draft where you have a couple of primetime edge rushers who look like they might be defensive player of the year guys. Got to give them another year, but there's skill position players. There's all this quarterback talent that the team might want to trade up for if you're comfortable giving it to Drew Aller in a year from now. So, like, just do the right thing for your franchise. Either you're contending or you're rebuilding. There is no middle ground. And this isn't just the NFL. This is all professional sports. There is no middle ground. So doing the best you can to go 7-10, it's just silly. You're not doing what's best for your franchise.
Well, the Steelers kind of live in that middle ground. They're an early exit from the playoffs pretty much every single year. And with Aaron Rodgers, they could sneak into the playoffs. I mean, they're probably a 9-8, 10-7 best case scenario football team. If that, I mean, there's a good chance they're 8.
Yeah.
9-8. I mean, the Steelers do a really nice job going 9-8. I would say.
Well, they got rid of the coach. I mean, they don't have that coach. That's the other part that confuses me. Mike Tomlin got all this flack for always being right in the middle, and then they went out and hired the most middle coach that they could. And if they bring back Aaron Rodgers, it's to cling on to the middle. Like, just grow comfortable being uncomfortable. Go lose some games so you can actually rebuild your team.
I mean, I think Mike McCarthy he's a good coach. Like, he's very similar to Mike Tomlin, but he's going to be able to go 9-8, and especially Aaron Rodgers and him know each other. My thing is, though, Aaron Rodgers is pulling this on Mike McCarthy, and like, they're close. They're buddies. Like, he openly talked about how much he likes Mike McCarthy, and he's doing this to Mike McCarthy too. So we don't know what the back end details of are the contract. Like, what does Aaron Rodgers want that he's maybe not getting for not showing up? I don't necessarily know. But he likes Mike McCarthy, and he wants to play football another year, you would think, and he's still not showing up to the one team that really wants him there. So I don't get it. It's not really what you'd want from the quarterback position. Your best case scenario, you're probably an early exit from the wild card round. If you win a wild card game, you're losing the divisional round, that you're not winning the division. So I just don't know what the Steelers are really looking for with Aaron Rodgers. I'd rather lose a few games, see what you got in Will Howard, develop Drew Aller, and then move on. And also, too, I mean, Mason Rudolph has started games in the NFL. So you also have Mason Rudolph who can, be the Band-Aid for you as well. And I don't think he's that good, but he has still started plenty of games in the NFL.
I think you're giving them too much credit. I don't think 10-7. I don't think they have a snowball's chance in hell at that. I mean, they have talent on their roster. Like, Steelers fans watch this. I'm not saying your team stinks. It's the opposite. I'm saying you have good players on your roster, but your team's not in position to contend, and you're being prevented from getting there because your team your organization won't properly allocate the money and resources to where it should go. And because they're always in this 8-9, 9-8, 10-7 region, they never get the top pick that they're looking for, which allows them to really build. So I'm looking at this season like 7-10 is the best case scenario for them. Aaron Rodgers was not good last year, and he's only going to continue to get worse. I mean, he looks like a decrepit old man at times. Like when I watch him get sacked, I kind of shudder a little bit because I'm worried that he's going to break. He just looks so far off the pace of what he once was. That's why he gets rid of the ball in a second and a half. He's a little gun shy in the pocket. I want the Steelers to rebuild because they're one of the most historic franchises in the NFL. Their fans deserve it. Like, they get jokes for being in that 500 region every single season. And again, all that they've done this offseason has showed me that's where they want to be. And I want better for them. I want them to change their mindset.
The schedule is pretty easy for them. So, I mean, outside the division, you get the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns at home. So you got to think you're going to go 2-1 at home, 1-2 on the road. Let's say you're 500 in your division game. So 3-3, right?
Maybe. I would probably go 2-4, but okay.
All right, let's say 3-3. Falcons, Panthers, Broncos, Texans, Colts. I think you're 3-2 there.
I don't. I think 4 of those teams are better than the Steelers.
You're at home though. I think you're gonna go 3-2 there. Worst case 2-3. Okay. So 2-3. Okay, so let's say best case scenario. So you split in the division, you go 3. So at home right now, you're what?
6-5.
6-5 on the road.
Wait, no, sorry. I was doing 3-3 for the divisional games, which includes the road games.
All right, so 3-3 for the divisional games, include the road games, and then the other home games. Let's be generous at home. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3-2. So add that in.
Yeah, so 6-5 with home games and divisional games.
Okay, then you face the Jaguars, loss. Patriots, loss. That's 6-7. You did beat the Patriots last year. I think you beat the Saints.
It's in Paris, which means it's an even playing field.
Paris? The Saints game's in Paris?
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to win that game, 7-7. Eagles, you lose that 7-8. Bucks and Titans, you probably split those.
Okay, so just to be clear, you have them at 8-9, and you called that the best case scenario.
8-9, 9-8's best case scenario. Going through it.
We just went through it, and we called it best case scenario, and they finished 8-9.
9-8.
No, it was 8-9.
No, it wasn't 9-8. So you split the division games. Then you win 3 more at home, so you're 6-5. Then you go
lose to the Jaguars is 6-6. Lose to the Patriots is 6-7. Beat the Saints is 7-7. Lose to the Eagles is 7-8. Lose to the Bucks is 7-9. Beat the Titans 8-9.
Split or sweep. I think you're capable of beating both those teams. So I think winning 2 there is best case scenario. 9-8, best case.
6-11 and 7-10 football team.
What's their win total at? So their win total,
I'm gonna guess it's 7.5.
Regular season wins. The Pittsburgh Steelers 7.5 over -135. I think 8's pretty reasonable.
I mean, there's just so it is reasonable. Like, it's not unrealistic, but again, that's kind of the whole point that I'm making here. As a non-Steelers fan, I don't want to see the Steelers at 500 every season. They're allowed to go up or down. You don't have to ride the middle every season because you're never going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. Fully agree with that. Well, anything else on the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, if you guys are watching this video, whatever thoughts you have, throw it down in the comment section below. Subscribe. Tanner and I got videos coming out every single day, and hit the like button if you enjoyed, or if you didn't enjoy it, but the conversation made you frustrated enough to leave us a comment, but why not hit the like button anyway?